There is a video which I've come across, and I find out that this video is very important for us to learn a few things, and something very important is coming up. And this message goes back to those who are in the diaspora, and it's very keen that you listen very carefully. I developed this video based on the fact that there was a lady who was crying that those people whom she thought were trustworthy at the end of the day let her down. Please take your time and listen so that you take your thoughts and put them together and contemplate on what I'm about to tell you.
By the time narudi Kenya, hali si hali, nilikuta hali si hali. Pesa nilikuwa natuma haiko inafanya venye mimi nasema ifanye. Ile pesa yangu ilitumika kupeleka mtoto wa sister yangu shule. Watoto wangu nilipata hawakuwa wanaenda shule. Wamekonda, watoto wamekonda. Nakumbuka venye nili arrive Kenya hivi, they didn't welcome me. Watu wenye walikuwa wanani welcome ni watoto wangu. So kuwaona hivi I broke down in tears. Juu wamekonda, yani mpaka hizi mifupa unazionea huko. Nauliza what was happening. I took time now hapo nje nikalia, yani I needed some time. So tukaingia kwa nyumba. Kapata mom, kapata sister yangu hapo, brother yangu. Wakaniuliza kwa nini nimerudi. Nikamwambia kulienda hivi na hivi na hivi na hiyo ndio imefanya niko hapa saa hizi. Wakatuambia sasa wewe hapa sisi mali tuko karibu kufungiwa nyumba. Tumeambiwa tupack tutoke. Nauliza kwani what was happening with the money? Pesa ilikuwa inaenda wapi? Kwani watoto wangu wako wanaenda shule? Kwa nini watoto wamekonda hivi yani? Ni nini ilikuwa ina happen? They were like, oh, sijui tulikuwa tunafanya hivi, sijui this was happening. Yani a lot of things.
That time, who is telling you, like, who was in charge of these funds kwanza? Who was in charge of your funds?
My mom.
Okay, sisemi kitu.
I used to trust her by that. Ndio maana nilikuwa namtumia, hata sikuwa na save nikiwa huko. Nilikuwa najua huku pesa inatakikana kuliko mimi venye nahitaji. Alafu niko kwa nyumba, I didn't need anything. Kila kitu nataka napata kwa ile nyumba. Sasa pesa naeka ya nini? But ule Mwarabu kijana alikuwa ananipeanga pesa. Sasa kuna tu pesa nilikuwa nimejiwekea by the time nakuja Kenya. Sasa hiyo pesa ndo mimi nilitumia, nikachukua watoto wangu, nikaenda nika have to rent a single house. At least nitoe watoto kwa ile environment. Nili shift hapo, nikachukua nyumba, nikaenda nikaanza maisha na watoto wangu. Sikutaka kufikiria what will happen hapo mbele. Kenya nilikuwa naona ni hii kwa hapa saa hizi. Tulisukuma life na watoto wangu hapo kwa hiyo single house. Nikaanza kufulia wase. But before nifulie watu, tulikakaa sana. Then my sister nikasikia na travel to Saudi Arabia. She traveled. Akaachia mamangu watoto wake. Kuachia watoto wake, my mom na yeye akapata job Nyeri. Kupata job Nyeri, sister yangu waka communicate na mom, ikakuwa mama hawezi tena kukaa na wale watoto sababu ana shift to Nyeri na hawezi enda na watoto. So ikakuwa mimi nipewe wale watoto wa sister yangu nikae nao. Kwa ile tu single house yangu. Mimi sikukataa, mimi nilikubali. By then sikukuwa na job.
How many kids?
2. She had 2 girls.
2?
Yeah.
Now you are 5.
So nikakubali. Tukakuwa tunaishi pale. Nikamwambia sister yangu mimi najua mimi sina kazi. Watoto wako watakuwa nakula nini? Kaniambia usijali, mimi nitakuwa na kusort rent na nitakuwa na buy food. Nikajua hapa mimi niko sawa. I accepted. Nikakaa na wale watoto the first month, second month, mpaka ikafika tuseme 5 months hivi. My mom came back. Kurudi, she was like, kazi imekataana huko, blah blah blah. So by the time yani anarudi, he had nowhere to stay. So akakuja kwangu.
Unamhost?
Namhost sasa kwangu. Sasa tumekuwa 6. Kwa that single house tuko 6 people. Sasa venye tulikuwa tunaishi na yeye, she was communicating to my sister behind my back. I was feeling but ni ile sikuwa assured ni nini wanaongelelea. So kuna time ameenda huko nje, alikuwa ameacha simu yake hapo ina charge. I took her phone. Haikuwa na password. Walikuwa na chat na sister yangu Facebook. She was telling my sister, mimi namtesea watoto. I don't give her children food. Wakiniambia kitu sisikii. I treat them yani badly. I don't know why she would say that. But hivyo ndo text zilikuwa zinaonesha. So anaambia sistangu, mimi nataka kutoka huku. So wewe nitafutie pesa, nichukue watoto, nihame nao. Kumbuka I'm not working.
Yes.
Hao watoto ndo wanafanya napewa chakula na nalipiwa rent.
Yes.
So by the time wanaenda, mimi nabaki hivyo. So my sister did that. Alitumia mamake pesa, akamwambia chukua watoto, nyinyi hameni mumuondokea akae peke yake.
Now, this is something that is very common, and I know many of you, especially those who are outside the country, really know what I'm talking about. Having had that story, it's a very sad story to know that somebody you trusted so much, especially your mother, as at the end of the day caused you a lot of torture, and you really don't know what you have begun. We understand that very much, that those people, many of you actually, those who are outside the country, really looking for work and really want to make your life better. You go through hardships, you go through a lot of torture. It's like servitude, going through slavery for the benefit of your children, for the benefit of your life, so that you do a better thing tomorrow. And so as you grow, as you age, you have something to keep yourself abreast, development, and make yourself who you are, whom you really desire to be. And possibly, even at your old age, you invest in your children, you invest in the assets, so that as you retire, because you're not going to work in Saudi or Qatar or any other country forever, you will have to, at some point, one way or another, you will have to find yourself at home. East-West, home is best. But there's one thing which I want to tell you, and I really beg that you listen very carefully on this, that you are related to your mother, and you're also related to your brother, you're related to your sister. But nobody is related to money. I want to repeat this again. You are related to your father, you're related to your mother, you're related to your brother, sister. You have a blood relationship, and you're twin. But nobody is related to money. And that is why the principles of that govern money and the principles of relationship, blood relationship, are two different. And that is why when you look at even the Bible, and I think even the Quran, so it says this, that there are those who are born of blood, flesh and blood, and there are those who are born of the Spirit. There is sonship in the Spirit, sonship in the blood, biological. And therefore also there is also sonship financially. The person who is able, the ability to trust or to run your finances must be documented. Just the same way you earn money is the same way you've got to earn trust by somebody else. And this is why I'm coming up with this idea, which we have in also our organization. We've practiced with quite a number of people who are in diaspora. And I'm raising this note, it may be just as a marketing trend, but I want to challenge you people who are outside there. You will have to make a choice as of now. There is a document called Power of Attorney. You see, when I talk of that, it is legal, it is entrepreneurship, it is business, it is structural. You see, you cannot sue your mother when they misuse your funds. And you cannot take them to court because there was no contractual undertaking between the two of you. There was no business undertaking. There was no written agreement. There was absolutely nothing. You simply used your blood trust, which is unfortunately not in connection with financial management. And so I want to bring you to the point where you understand the implications of trusting your relatives on something which you could be able to handle in advance. Money has its own management rules, it has its own regulations, laws, it has everything contractual. It has nothing financial. I mean, it has nothing blood. It has nothing, like we can say, relation. It has simply nothing to do with a relationship of anybody. When you give a relative anything to do with money, whether it is for your investment or what, they will always have a relation connection to that. And at one point, they will have to say, "This is my relative," and they will use it wherever they can. But I want you to look at this document, which is called the Power of Attorney, POA or POA, which we have used on many occasions and it has worked very well. You have your children here in Kenya, and you really need to finance them to their school fees. POA is your alternative. You have a project that you are doing in Kenya or in any other world, and you really want to make it illegal. POA is your document. You have a legal responsibility that you have to undertake, somebody to help you follow your matters, somebody to help you follow. You've got to make an undertaking of POA, the power of attorney. That is, in other words, is an agent to represent you. Now, when we talk about the agencies, the power of attorney, you've given them the limit to represent you so that whatever they sign, it is within the scope of your understanding, of your agreement. So this is what happens. It lets you to choose a trusted person, your agent, to make financial decisions, legal decisions, or medical choices for you if you are not available. It could be you are out in business, you are not feeling well, you are hurt, you cannot be able to work through an accident or something like that, and he can manage your affairs in time. And of course, it's not just about trust, it's about the legal implication, the contractual responsibility that you have assigned that person. And you see, he will work only within the limit. And this is the reason why I say this is very important, that people who are outside there must be able to understand. POA, the power of attorney, is something that you need to start exploring as of now. And I'm saying this because your family may have to go through a lot of costly issues. You've got to create a lot of animosity between them. You can hear the lady saying that immediately when she came back, she realized that nothing happened. And in fact, the money she was sending ended up helping somebody else, but not her children. And as her children were staying at home, others were going to school using her money. So at the end of the day, she was punished. Now, these are the things that you need to understand, that when you assign somebody the power of attorney through the documentation, there are agreements you sign that this is the responsibility, this is the pay I'll give you. So any money that I send to you for this project, produce an accountability document and send it to me to confirm that what I sent to you is being utilized. So we now get to the next phase. It is involving you at every stage. For example, you send me money to take your children, to buy your children and pay their fees. I will have to send you back the school fees receipt. And again, if we have to go out shopping for the children, we do the shopping and send you the receipt. Technology is here with us, and that's manageable. That is the responsibility I have requested, or we have outlined together, so that we work within the parameters of our agreement. So you have a project that you want to do, you have a house, you have land that you want to buy. Make sure you have money in an account and give an authority to the bank that before the withdrawal of money, there are some documentation to be produced. For example, land search, whatever that is required, investigative, like involve surveyors, involve land registrars to do the registration of the land and then transfers on your behalf, and make sure every step you are notified. Now, when you have an expert on that through the power of attorney, you are safe, and I will show you why you are safe. This is not about trust, it's about legal responsibility, the roles played by each party when you have assigned them with the power of attorney. Now listen, these are the benefits of a power of attorney. Number one, control. It is you who decide who to handle your money, at what point and at what level. You are the one who gives conditions through the document, so he can only work within that. That is, pick the money and deliver, and there has to be a documentation of collection and receiving from the other end, so that that signature and confirmation of receipt, I send it back to you to confirm that that which you assigned me has been delivered. And of course, you've got to pay me for that service. The other thing that it does is protection. It prevents legal gridlock if a sudden illness or accident happens. That is, when you assign somebody on that, you are safe, because if this person that you have assigned a POA, power of attorney, fails, then you have the ability to take him to court to sue him for damages and failing in his responsibility because of the assignment that you gave him. And therefore, he should be able to work within that assignment. And you have no relationship with this person. You attach that agreement to him or her, so that if he doesn't work within that parameters or that jurisdiction that you've given him, within the roles that you have given him, then the courts are here to sue for damages. Thirdly is clarity. You can write down exact rules of how you want your care bills and handles. You can put them down that I want you to operate within this. The money I've given you is for your facilitation. Then check this for pay the school fees or pay the shopping or pay my mother. You align them like that. So I will only work within the jurisdiction that you have assigned me, the roles that you have given me, so that we work together. Now, these are there are many types of a power of attorney. There's quite a number of them. Now is the financial power of attorney. Allows your agent to manage your bills, manage your bank accounts, and handle property. This is the financial management power of attorney. So these are the kinds of responsibilities that you give to somebody with respect to financial management. Then there's another one which deals with medical power of attorney. It gives you, your agent, the power to talk to doctors and make healthcare choices if you cannot speak on their behalf. So it is me now, like now, if you have lost, you don't have the ability to air out your views, then you assign somebody after payment to speak on your behalf. Of course, this must be somebody who understands you much better than any other. Durability. Now, stay active even if you lose your mental capacity. Now, the power of attorney is able to manage your affairs throughout. It has no time. You can only create a timeline. But if it is open-ended, this is something that can be done within a given time for a period, that as long as you see that this one is trusted, he has worked obediently within his rules, and you can now expand the scope of operation. And so this is my advice to those who are in diaspora, who have really been wasted by really putting your funds wrongly. Just assign somebody, send a little money, give him the facilitation fee, give them assignment that go to this place, go to wherever place, as long as it is manageable. Then let them do that work. That phase one. If they can be able to honor that, give them another one until you are able to manage together the assignments that are given. And this is the best thing that those who are in diaspora can do. That is my advice, and that is one of the projects that we do in Yellow Ribbon Initiative and Flair Africa, to run errands, and actually the universal errands for people, especially within the country of your origin. So if you have a project that you want to be assisted, you want to be managed for professionally, and you want, like for example, you want to build a house and you want us to assign a particular contractor, give us the mapping, what kind of house you want. As long as you fund it and pay us the services, we should be able to manage for you. And that's my main advice. Do not rely on your relatives whom you send, I trust my mother, I trust your father. You will see dust. And that is why we have the voice just right here of the lady who has gone through trouble. She's got to start life again through suffering, and yet you have suffered in the diaspora. Why can't you try us?